Welcome Black. Yes. Oh. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. I am Shaunda, and today is a good day, always. As I said before in my previous episode, throughout the month of February, every Thursday, I will be talking about my Black role model, and how they're just making history and how they just affect me. This time I'm talking about Yara Shahidi. Who is Yara Shahidi? Well, she is an actress and a producer. She received the AACP Image Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress for the comedy series Blackish. And then she was nominated 3 times for the same award for Grownish. I just don't know how to start this off, but I'm just going to go off of the recent projects that she did. So 2023, she made a movie called Sitting in Bars with Cake. Sorry, I got my notes in front of me. So inspired by true events, Sitting in Bars with Cake follows 2 best friends in their 20s navigating life in LA. Extrovert Kareen convinces Jane, a shy, talented baker, to commit a year of bringing cakes to bars to help her meet people and build confidence. But when Kareen receives a life-altering diagnosis, the pair faces a challenge unlike anything they've experienced before. Why am I bringing up this movie? This movie, when I watched it, was just, oh my gosh, insanely good. I got super emotional watching the movie. But one thing that I took away from the movie is just how, friendship is huge. But also in the movie, Yari plays Jane, and she was studying to become a lawyer, that she was going to go to school. It's just what her parents wanted to be. But then she took the time to just relax and she baked cake. And the cake just turned out really good, but she was, just to herself in the house, and that's cool. Like, I want to say in the beginning of the movie, they just show her being like awkwardly out, but then talking to people, but it was like super awkward, super good. It was very, very good the way they caught that. But then they noticed, like, when she baked the cake, it was for Corinne's birthday, that they went to a bar and she had the cake with her. And she noticed that she had or her friends noticed that she had a really smooth conversation with guys talking about cake, and they really liked it. So it was just a very good movie. So I don't want to give it away. If you guys haven't watched it, I highly recommend. It's on Prime. But from what I've seen in that movie, it's just when you have a dream, when you have something that you don't really see going anywhere, it's like this is just a thing, but you have a friend, either a friend or you just know something in your gut that this could be it. But in that movie, they just base it off a friend, like, this is going to help you build your confidence. Do it. But then they also seen that it is something, from what I took away from the movie, when you have something beautiful, it can grow into something great. Like that's just what I took away from it. And it led me to put these 2 things together with Yari, because she led a TED Talk on TED Talk, it's on YouTube, called Let Curiosity Lead. And in that, I'm just going to try to summarize what she talked about. But in the TED Talk, she starts off her childhood being full of imagination and fantasy and just thinking adventure. But then she also explained of how growing up, the imagination and creativity forces that drove her, that growing up, the imagination and creativity forces that drove her had less space to thrive, because, as you grow up, it just hits you that no, it's not going to be the same with I thought that I was going to be going out and traveling and seeing the world, and that's just not the way how easy life could be as you imagine it. Or just your dreams, it's just not the same. Because realistically, as she talked about, you have people who ask you like, well, are you sure about that? Or who do you want to be? And what is it? And a lot of, as society says, be lucrative, and you need to have some type of wealth, some type of success, or you feeling comfortable in life where you're not struggling. Stuff like that. We can go deep in that later, but about Yara and what she was just expressing, that it really does just, it grows, it goes away. Like it's just not going to be there with you. How can you make sure that it stays? And I would say for her whole thing, lead with curiosity, is just being curious. So she just talks about like her acting career. She said acting to her has been more than a career. It's given permission to explore her fantasy because she feels she gains a level of empathy every time she steps into a different character shoes. So like when I've seen what role she played in as Jane, it was just beautiful because a friend, and then her just having some fun, but also a friend saying like, this is just also going to help you build your confidence, is beautiful. But then life hit her because again, they received some news that just takes you, right? So like it really, when you get heavy news as she did, or just parents want to influence you to go to this law school and be a lawyer, and knowing that's just not something that you want to do, but life hits you, it's just like, okay, maybe I don't really need to worry about this so-called distraction, or worry about this so-called dream of mine, because I need to focus on like what this world, what realistically and what I need. Something that is just what I need. It's not going to make me happy, but it's what I need. And it just made me think about like, oh my gosh, me in this way, and everybody else is just living life. And what they're doing is just probably not, it's not fulfilling, but it's just something that's just getting you by. And from what I took from this TED Talk, and I'll continue more, but it's just making sure that you are always curious outside of work. Your work isn't you. So having a hobby is great. Like I really, really, as I expressed before, I love tennis. I can't let that just be my only hobby. So like I painted a little bit, which was nice. But I also want to sort of build confidence and go out and just see how I am with people, like with women, men, anybody. I just want to see how I am. So I really want to get out more and what this space is. And like I said, this is just going to help me with this foundation of my podcast, and just saying what interests me, the topics that I like talking about, what's going on in the world. I want to see what people think. Like, so that's why I want to say I have this, because I'm very curious about people's stories, their experiences. It's just insanely great. So that's what I'm very curious about, and I'm very happy for anybody to share. That's what it is for. But I'll get back to what she said. But so around the time when, like she said, with her acting career, it blew up where Grownish was starting, but she also got accepted into Harvard. And around that time, she said her education was equally pivotal. It filled her with endless desire to know places, events, communities, obstacles, the mistakes, but selfishly to know herself in a place in this world, to know like what she's doing right now and knowing herself in that. This is like a summary of the TED Talk. It's better explained if you watch the whole thing, but from what I took from it, it is insanely great to have a dream, but also know the back end of like what knowledge, what it's good, what education can take you. And it made me think about a time where I had the choice of I got accepted into Moore College, and I also around the time was studying, like practicing the religion that I was in, and I was in it pretty deep. I was very almost baptized. I want to say almost baptized. The reason why I didn't get baptized is I was like living this double life, but then I also like didn't get baptized because I chose something. I chose not to go to college because it was just something like that I felt that I was going to be accepted in this religion. Like this is all that mattered. And around the time I didn't really weigh my options. It just felt like I had to make the right decision, but it wasn't my decision to not go to college. So I feel like the experience that I've wanted to have and see what the college life was all about, and I feel like I would have been way better with groups and friends and keeping up with friends if I had that. I want to say with the job I am, I'm very good at my job. I really know how to speak to people, to talk to people, to have a conversation. I don't mind that, but I just thought the college life would have been way different. My life would have been different. My career would have been different, but I don't take away from what I was taught. I was taught structure. I was taught a way and a belief, and it's beautiful, but I want to say my curiosity with any other things stopped if I would have just really, really went into it. I don't know. I'm a little breaking off from here, but I'm just trying to find that connection from the movie that I watched with her, but then also my life and just sharing my experience. It's just very interesting. But I would just say from there, don't let curiosity stop you. Always keep looking, and that's what she was just saying in her TED Talk. Like it was very moving, because then she says, and being forced to look at the world as it is, she was missing out on the opportunity to look at the world as it could be, as we all do. And she also gave like a beautiful example of like the women who were around the time, like in Iran, of the women and children fighting for what could be, of women not being oppressed. And it just made me think, also Black people, what we're going right now of not being oppressed and what could be, but it's just forces that just don't want us there. So I appreciate people like Issa Rae and Yari for just saying, just be curious and build your own table. Be okay to open it up to people too, because that opens up other doors, but build your own table to get there. And that's what curiosity leads you to. The other thing that she said that was just the last thing before it ended, chasing curiosity means that my purpose is constantly unfolding in front of me. All I have to do is pay attention, recommit to curiosity with me, because honoring your so-called distractions is an act of creating. It is to sit in the grandeur of all our options. It's to acknowledge our infinite possibilities when the world tries to convince us it is indeed finite. So refuse to let your world get smaller, and let's build a new future together. And that's where it ended off. Again, I'm reading off my notes, and they're pretty far, but they're pretty small. I'm really proud of my eyesight, and I'm going to enjoy this. So many customers that be like, enjoy your eyes while they last, and I'm like, I am. But either or, I do see a future for myself. And I'm very curious of what this is going to take me. I'm very curious of what cybersecurity is going to take me, because I want to build something off of that for sure. But I also don't want to let down this new dream that I've started for myself, this new curiosity that I started for myself. But with cybersecurity, like, it's a lot of learning. I just feel very, again, dumb. I feel very just very ignorant to the knowledge that I need to know, and taking it all in, I just have to learn my learning structure and just seeing how that goes. But I'm not going to let that stop me from continuing to be curious about new things. I'm not gonna not question things, because that's just what's gonna help. I just question things and knock on doors and just make sure that my toe is in the door, my foot isn't in the door, and then there's a leg, and then there's my whole body, and then there's just me. And then at that point, I will be accepted. It's just, we just gotta keep pushing and keep going. Yari, if you ever see this, I appreciate you and love you and thank you. I try not to put age in this, but you're just like, you're 23, I'm 27, and you're just an inspiration to look up to, either or. I don't really care about age. I really don't. It's just your foundation and what you bring, and your knowledge is just beautiful. Your light through my computer, through my TV, and it's just amazing. Thank you. For all my followers, I appreciate you. For the people who watch, I appreciate you. I thank you. If you like what you watch, please remember to rate, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. YouTube, please listen to me on Apple and Spotify. You can also rate, like, comment on there. You can share with me your stories or experiences, or if you really like this, go to my email, imjustsharingpod@gmail.com. I'm happy to read it. And if you're willing to share stories, again, I'll keep you anonymous unless you say otherwise. So yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. I look forward to the next one, and I hope you do too. Bye.